Hello, friend. Jen Foxbot here. Okay, so here's a cool thought, which is related to what we're going to talk about. So we can think of the brain as basically like a sensor processing unit. Like it takes in information from the world, our eyes, our nose, taste, hearing, touch, and other things. And it creates a map of reality. Well, and a map of our body. It also takes in information from our body and helps us to navigate this world. Okay, so the really interesting thing, I was listening to a podcast about consciousness, and something that kind of struck me was like, okay, so the inputs that we have influence how our body handles that information, right? So if something is stressful, if we see something and our brain is like, alert, alert, it'll send out stress hormones so that you possibly get out of there or you handle the situation like you handle that intense situation. And so, but also we have another layer of consciousness on top of just the sensory inputs, right? So we can actually think thoughts that cause our body to have reactions. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting because that's like, okay, take this with a grain of salt, but the whole concept of like, positive thinking, like telling yourself like I am okay, that type of stuff, and like manifesting, like it's a little woo-woo, but I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting because if we think certain types of thoughts over and over and over again, our body reacts to those thoughts. So in a weird way, we can affect the way that our body behaves depending on the way that we think. And obviously, external factors are less in our control, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool and something to keep in mind. So I hope that that is interesting or helpful or just that it brought you a little bit of joy. Cool. Bye.